Hey, so I've been doing some thinking, which is often a big part of my problem, but there's a concept that keeps popping into my mind that I wanted to share with you, and I thought it'd be really great to share it right before the weekend. I recently watched a movie called The Shift by Wayne Dyer, and in that movie he tells this story, and this is the story that keeps popping into my head. He talks about the first 9 months of our lives, where we're in the womb, and in that 9 months, every single thing we need is constantly being provided for us. Every bit of nutrition, energy, and there's also this force that is just constantly driving us forward from the tiny speck into this beautiful newborn baby. What happens though is that this baby is born, and what we as humans tend to do is say, my God, or universe, God, Spirit, Buddha, whatever. What a beautiful job you did. This baby is perfect, and we'll take it from here. But in Wayne Dyer's opinion, nothing changes. Everything is still being provided to us our entire lives, and all we need to do is stop resisting it. Okay, so it's kind of this concept of surrender that keeps coming to mind for me. So if you can really buy into this idea that everything you ever need is being provided to you in every moment, and that your only job is to surrender and get in touch with that source, then what is stopping you? I'm reading another book called Spiritual Enlightenment, The Damndest Thing. And the teacher in that book is encouraging his student to lift the rudder. If you picture a sailboat, you get this giant sail, and the wind is trying to push you in one direction, and the rudder is the thing where you feel all the resistance. That's where you're trying to say, okay, wind wants me to go this way, I'm going to use my rudder, and I'm going to go the other way. So in this book, Spiritual Enlightenment, The Damndest Thing, the teacher is saying, lift the rudder. And he says the two things that ever stop us from lifting that rudder are fear and ego. So, worth considering that if you can buy into this, maybe that one of those two things is holding you back. I believe that the answer to all of our questions is in our ability to be present. And I'm only still myself really coming to understand what this really means to be present. Until this point, I have always, I have a client, Be Present, at the yoga clothing company, and they send me clothes on occasion, and I wear all of these shirts that say Be Present, and I've always said that I wear them very ironically because being present is something I'm still learning. However, my teacher, Anjay, from Sacred Springs Spiritual Retreat Center in California, recommended this book to me, The Presence Process, and I'm working on it, and I can already tell it's going to make, this book may become a Bible of sorts for me. But I just wanted to read one thing to you from this book. He says that he's talking about the fact that most people are not very present, and we're not in a state of inner peace. He says, our lack of inner peace is reflected outwardly as ongoing chaos. I don't know if you can relate to any ongoing chaos. As well as in the way that we shy away from any experience of stillness and silence. The theme of this mental age is let there be noise and movement. And think about, I don't know if that resonates with you, but do you shy away from the experience of stillness and silence? One of the things that I realized when I got to that retreat center in California was that anytime there was a moment where I was left alone, my instinct was to grab my phone and look for, whether a text had come in or an email had come in or a Facebook message or whatever. And it's eerie as you see that we're trying to fill that silence always. That's why I'm appreciative of everybody who is bearing with me as being deliberately slow in responding to texts and Facebook messages lately. But listen to this. So because we can't remember what we've lost, we don't know what we're missing. We can't find it because we seek it either in pictures of the past or by scanning the future. And that's what he means by not being present. We're always living in the past or the future. Our insatiably needy behavior, which is forever seeking something, is testimony to the emptiness our current approach to living can't fill. The word enough has no relevance to us. Can I get an amen on that? So here's the thought that I want to leave you with for the weekend. He says, in this upside-down state, we mistakenly spend our experience trying to get something instead of simply receiving that which is already and eternally given. It brings us right back to that point by Wayne Dyer about the fact that everything that we need is already there for us in every moment. So, as you go about your weekend, I want to leave you with that thought. How can you really be comfortable with stillness and silence and embracing everything that every moment is already giving you? I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and maybe I'll see you back here next week.